When you get to your table, take your piece of cardboard and write your name on it in one of the corners. This is going to be the base where we can put our sculpture on. My partner or I is going to take one of these orange trays and just gather a bunch of different pieces of wood, not too much, just so it kind of fits in here, just to give us both something to start with, and then we can always go up and get more. We're not going to have any glue yet. So I can start taking some pieces of wood and putting them on my base, turning my base, and trying to arrange them in different ways that look interesting to me. I might push them together. I might stack them. See how many different ways you can arrange your pieces of wood. You might make something tall in the middle and look at it from different sides. You might make something more flat and connect pieces in a different way. Maybe there's space in between. There's also these little pieces you can use, and you can find more in the box once you want to add some more details to things. So think about adding lots of different sizes of pieces. You might think about it looking kind of like a place or a building or a person, or it might just look like lots of abstract shapes. Now be careful, because some of these pieces might have little pieces of wood sticking out, and if you're not being careful, you might get a splinter when you're dealing with wood. So be careful and don't grab hard on the pieces. So I'm going to spend at least about 10 minutes seeing all the different things I might do on my base. I can always go get more pieces. Now, sometimes when we're building something, we might really like how it looks, but then we might have a problem with balance. Balance is when things fall and they're not going to stay. Now, since we're going to be adding glue, that will help things stay put. But if something is so tall, like this, and there's very heavy things on top of something small, even if I put glue on this, it's not going to balance. It's too heavy on the top. So you need to think about how you can make it strong and look the way you want it. That's one of your challenges when dealing with sculpture, especially with sculpture with wood, where you cannot change your pieces. The other thing is, if I want to put something on a corner, it's going to be a little bit hard. So if I have it glued solidly on one part, then it only touches a corner on the other part, that might work. But it might not work if it's touching two corners. There's not enough space to glue. So let's say I'm ready to glue down some pieces because I've tried so many things. And I'm ready to make a decision. Okay, I'm going to start with something like this. So now I have my glue, and I need to look and think about the first thing I need to glue, which looks like these two pieces are at the bottom. So when I lift this up, I can just take some glue, and just like when we glue paper, just put dots of glue. You don't need to spread glue over everything. Just put some dots of glue in the middle and near the edges. And then press it on. And of course, it needs to dry. And then I would keep going and completing my wood sculpture. We will let these dry, and next class we will be able to add color to them. Let's see. by painting them. So here's a good point where I need to only put glue on one side of this because the other side is hanging. So be careful and think about where you really need the glue. You can see here, you can kind of see the glue squirting out. I used a little bit too much glue there. So I would keep working. Oh, I only need glue on the sides. Oops, if you spilled glue, you can just kind of rub it on, it's okay. Remember, it can be nice to add some of these details. If you're adding something round like this, it might not stand up tall. You might need to lay it somewhere down. So maybe I want to put this here and let it dry. Turn your sculpture and think about it from all the sides. Okay, it's your turn to make your own wood sculpture.